Winter is just a couple of weeks away and Perth beaches have been unseasonably busy. While some are lapping it up, others see it as a call to action. Governments across the world are trying to drive their emissions below 2005 levels, but WA's are heading in the wrong direction. The ABC has obtained a report by the independent Climate Works Centre commissioned by the WA government, which projects the state will emit more than 91 million tonnes of CO2 this year, almost 20% above 2005 levels.
In record high emissions, we need to think about where temperatures are now. Our May temperatures are average maximums never been higher, and that's linked very strongly to increased greenhouse gas emissions globally.
The Climate Works modelling projects that by 2030, WA's emissions will be just 2% below our 2005 levels. By 2035, they'll be 20% under. But the modelling shows that for WA to get to net zero by 2050, the state's emissions need to be dropping at twice that rate, down 11% by 2030 and 42% by 2035. The WA government has set a target of net zero emissions by 2050, which it will soon legislate. But it's refusing to release reports and modelling showing WA's current trajectory. Why keep the modelling secret? Why not release that Climate Works report?
Look, because we will target 2035. It makes more sense, it gives industry more time, and it also allows us to look at the national aspirations for 2035.
But isn't transparency always a good thing?
No, there's a lot of modelling being done at the national level that we can incorporate into our planning for 2035 for Western Australia. It makes sense.
This government promised gold standard transparency, and what we're seeing unfortunately is the opposite, where absolutely nothing is being released. Look, and I know why, it's because they're embarrassed.
Every state in Australia has a 2030 emissions target, except WA. Queensland, also a mining state, has already reached its 2030 target and is aiming for a 75% reduction in emissions by 2035. The government says the state's rising emissions are necessary to help other countries decarbonise.
And that means pressure on getting gas to markets. It also means mining critical minerals in Western Australia, mining iron ore. All of these things are essential to build renewable energy infrastructure.
But climate scientist Bill Hare says WA's slow progress is more to do with its slow uptake of renewable energy.
We in the scientific community are panicking about the lack of action. This state will not look the same at all. It won't be the place that we want, that we grew up in, unless we can get global efforts underway to limit warming to 1.5 degrees.
These grandparents won't be around to find out. But for now, they'll be here. Rhiannon Shine, ABC News.